beautiful humans. Welcome back to another episode of Teach Gen Tech and to the series of Learning Python with Laura. I feel like
Yay!
you should be like starting your own channel of Learning with Laura and you could teach all the things.
I've thought about it because there's stuff I want to learn too, but I didn't want to be like stealing your idea.
Nah, it's like I feel like everybody has like a different way of doing things.
Hmm.
Like Learning with Jason is out there. Jason's actually going to be on
Of
the
course
show
there is. Yeah.
sometime.
Hmm.
Yay.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It is, and I'm gonna be learning from him. I'm excited.
Super cool.
So it's all like, even if we have the same ideas, we all learn so differently. So
Hmm.
I would sign
Hmm.
up. I'd be there.
Okay,
I would show up. So
probably gonna do that.
just saying. Just
Yeah.
saying. And okay, y'all, just to start, we gotta get this in the air, elephant in the room, out on
In
the
the air is
table.
especially funny given what we're about to talk
I know. Like I don't whatever.
about.
We may randomly end our stream today, mattering on how Laura is feeling, because Laura, please tell us why.
I went to Florence. Yesterday was my daughter's 16th birthday, and we went to a Florence and the Machine show, which was her request because she's a super cool kid. And I had forgotten about all of the pot that gets smoked at shows, and I am not opposed to the partaking of the pot, but I had pneumonia 2 years ago. Not COVID, bizarrely not COVID, but it damaged my lungs. And I'm now like asthmatic, or like I have highly reactive airways, or like however you want to phrase it. Anyway, I'm broken. Lungs are broken. And like by the end of it, I couldn't even stand up anymore. I had to sit down. I couldn't speak. It was really unpleasant. And I wish that people would use like vapes or edibles or whatever, because it's a public space and you never know what people have going on, and you can't tell to look at people that they
Mhm.
have damaged lungs, right? So yeah, that would have been nice, but so I'm not totally sure how long I'm gonna last today. It doesn't hurt anymore, but I can still feel my lungs, which is weird. Um, yeah.
Fair enough,
So
and thank you for sharing. And this is something that Laura and I were talking offline really quick of I'm very asthmatic, yet like weed and that kind of thing doesn't really affect me as much as vaping can. Like if I'm cuz my partner does vape
mhm,
and it's a lot better than cigarettes, but it is something that there's times where it really affects me. But outside of that, it's normally just exercise induced. And but my mom, like she smells anything, like perfume, lotion, hairspray,
mhm,
and she's a goner. Like
mhm,
and I find this interesting to talk about because yesterday I was like, how do you explain to someone what it feels like to have to take use your inhaler and the jitters it gives you and then the possible like headedness and then you feel like really spazzy and then feel like you're gonna fall asleep because it took your body all of this to heal your lungs and that while I was cleaning the house yesterday, I experienced that. So
mhm.
you are hitting close to home. I've
Yep.
had it my entire life though.
Mhm.
So it's just second nature to me, but like getting it from pneumonia, dude, that's scary.
Yeah, it was really weird, but you know,
All right, well,
random.
y'all, I'm gonna do most of the talking and probably most of the I'm gonna go for today, and I feel like I need to do this anyway, that Laura is just gonna be there for backup for today as we go
Mhm,
through the next one
mhm.
because I need to start doing a lot of it more on my own. Like I still don't remember all of the command line stuff. Um, so on that
I
note,
used to tell my students, for anyone who's tuning in for the first time, I used to be a math professor. I was a math professor at this time last year, and I used to tell my students that the one who's doing The work is the one who's doing the learning. Because a lot of times, especially in math classes, students really just want to watch you solve problems and write them
Mhm.
down because that's really comfortable and safe. And
Yeah.
they would get sort of, they would resist a bit when I would say, okay, I've done one now, let's all like struggle through one together. And they'd be like, no, I really want to just watch you do it. I'm like, but the one who's doing the work is the one who's doing the learning. And I already know this stuff, you know?
Yes. Yes, and hello, Ian. Ian has been on the show before as well as he live streams and because so I don't forget, Ian, somebody was asking me about resumes and stuff, and I sent them your live stream, so you might have a random person reaching out. Also, as I'm part of the Denver API meetup group, Ian's going to be presenting,
Oh,
which I'm
nice.
pretty excited about. And also, Ian, because you're here and I don't want to forget again, would love to have you on the show sometime and talk about Postman because that would
Yeah.
be dope. He is a DevRel over at Postman, and yes, Ian, I am learning the Pythons. I have not done anything with the lights yet. He has this really sweet like lighting
I was
situation.
on Ian's show like 2 months ago.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, I will. We're getting there. We're getting there. So on that note, I will share my screen soon. There we go. Oh, there we oh, okay. There we go. Yay. Yay. Isn't Laura great? I adore Laura. Laura's on the show every other week. Um, oh, by the way, Laura, we
Mm,
are with you being the very, very first series, we
mhm.
are going to have another series starting with TypeScript.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and it is somebody that wrote a book called Learning TypeScript, and I'm very
Very
excited.
cool.
Josh Goldberg. Is that his last
Mhm.
name? I think it's his last name. Okay. Well, so this week we do not have a quiz yet because we did not finish chapter 2. I'm going to scroll for a while. We
Did you
learned
want to clone your repo for this new machine?
I will. Give me
Okay. Okay.
just a second. But good call. I do need to say good call because that is um so I'm just kind of going through because we didn't really do too much coding last time. It was what up, Juice? I hope I said your name right. We are learning about Python, and if you have questions, let us know. Um oh, I should put this in the chat actually. Maybe. Maybe we'll get there. We will get there. We are working on chapter 2 of Automate the Boring Stuff from Al Swigert.
That's
Swi
right. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I said it right this time. And I will be putting that in here. We also have the previous streams with Laura, and I have a playlist for that. Let me go grab that. Python series. Yay. Share. Copy. All right. So, all right. So last time, uh, yes, yes. Al Swigart does do a really dope live stream as well. I've joined, or at least like watched it, and the entire thing I did was talk about like try to get him to show the kittens because he had a lot of kittens. And so
Yeah.
that was he was fostering kittens. That was the entire thing that I was getting out of his live stream while he was like replying back to people. I was like, I just want to see the kittens. And then I'll learn Python later. Um, so But getting back to today's Python, we learned about Boolean values, which are like, if I say it, it's the if and kind of thing. Like, is it true or false? Or is that the comparison?
Yeah, so the Booleans are the true false.
Okay.
The if and the else are flow control, which
Okay.
frequently involve, like, depend upon Booleans.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And yeah, we just basically went through the majority of this, but I am going to figure this out without having to ask Laura how to do it. So that way, hopefully, I remember. I keep forgetting how to clone my repos and move them to the computer and re-upload them, especially with Hacktoberfest being here. I'm like, I should know this. I should know, but I don't. So
There is
core
no should.
command. I know, but all right. If I were to Google all the things, I would say in CLI, create new folder. All right. So we are going to go to, so CD is what moves it, and we have a folder named, okay, but it is capital. What? Oh, is it because I'm in on
So,
Windows?
mhm. The Windows doesn't use the Unix command line, which Linux and Mac OS do, but you can get one, which I would recommend. So I would download Windows Subsystem for Linux. There you go.
Ooh. And hello, Ramon. Okay. This makes so much more sense why I couldn't get this to work the other day.
Yeah.
And for everybody, my Mac is still in in the thing. Yeah, at the repair shop again because it was not what? Elevation.
That probably means you don't have the, like, admin permissions. So you need to run as admin. Um, I'm trying to remember how to do this in Windows. I haven't used Windows in a bit. So yeah, command terminal, like run. Yeah, there you go. Run command in Windows as admin. You've got it. I'll be quiet now.
I know. Remember, I gotta do the searching. And what up, homie? And Jisafoo? That's what I'm going with. I hope it was somewhat accurate. All right, command prompt. Right click on run as administrator. Okay. Ooh, pop-ups. Yes. Yes. Oh, hey. Okay. Wee. I hope that is legible.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it's good for me anyway.
yay, it's installing.
Hooray!
I didn't know this was a thing, but this is a thing. And glad to see that I can still use the commands that I would on Mac
Hmm.
because then I am learning it for what I normally use. But
Right.
this is so for everybody to know, I spilled water all over my Mac like 2 weeks ago. I brought it in. Oh, did it? Am I
Hmm.
back?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I froze. Well, that could make this stream very interesting as well.
It's
Um,
choppy. Well, okay, so not actually your screen, but just your video, just your camera. Your screen is totally normal. Your camera cuts
Oh,
in and out a little bit.
weird. I really want my computer back. Apple, if you can hear me, please give me my laptop back and
Oh,
working.
jeez. Why did I just lose you?
Oh, Frank, good call.
Nothing wants to work today. My AirPods just disconnected. Just a sec. I'm no longer
Very
hearing you.
cool.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay. The default.
Just leave the Ubuntu default distro. It's fine. I would say.
So then would I need to run it as an administrator again?
What is the next? Is there a next step in the install process?
Oh,
So
this
we don't
command.
need to change the thing.
Yes, we definitely will. Wah! Now it's really big. Um, prerequisites, install. I'm just going to see if it works now. No. Oh. Oh.
Okay, cool. Okay, so do you wait, you're not actually in Windows subsystem for Linux, I think. Um, does it say on the in the browser how to run it?
Change default Linux distribution installed. This can be changed using the D flag.
Yeah, just keep scrolling. We're good with the default. Okay. Best practices for setting up a WSL development environment. So, oh, stop. Go back up. There we go. That link. Best practices.
And in case anybody is wondering, this is okay. Oh, and a homie coder, Ola Soy Milk is like one of the master magicians at things and stuff. That's what I'm gonna call
True
Ramon.
story.
Master magician of things and stuff.
Hmm. You can put that down, Ramon, as your job title. We've been having to figure out our job titles at Suborbital and like what was going to go on the website. So now
Okay.
Ramon has a good one.
I'm
Master
I'm
magician of
hoping
things and stuff. There we go.
I am not I let's put it out there. Good vibes. I am in the interview process somewhere and it's going very well. And upon getting hired, I am hoping that they will let me use Developcado as my job title.
Nice.
I don't know if they will, but all right. So get started. Play enablement, install Linux to simplified command.
You've already installed. So
We
we're
did
good
that.
there. Here we go.
Oh, once you provide the open the distribution, start using start menu, you will for your Linux distribution.
So it might
So
be under W for WSL or U for Ubuntu. I really haven't used Windows in such a long time.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
just
wait.
searching it.
I've been using the start menu.
Yeah.
What shows
Maybe
up
it's
under
under Linux.
apps?
Under apps, where do you see apps?
I don't anymore. It's gone now.
I think it was showing up because of,
There
oh
we go.
yeah,
There we go.
because of the
Up there in
search.
the top. Okay.
Oh.
That's not helpful. Oh, but the Frank Freeman suggests we should be able to find it under wsl.exe. Oh, wait, go back. There it is. Run command. Maybe? Oh, no, I think I was wrong. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, let's search again. WSL. Oh, I don't need that
You
cap.
don't have to restart, do you?
If I do, that's
Since
going to
you've just
be
freshly
really
installed?
annoying.
Yes, it will.
Hmm. No. No.
Okay.
I thought I saw it install Ubuntu at the command prompt type. Okay. Yes, I'm highlighting it, and then I will go over here and actually copy it. Give me just a second. Go right here. There we go. Ooh. Usage is the WSL.
What if you just run, like, type wsl.exe in the command prompt?
Did the same thing again.
Arguments.
It's
What
giving
were
the
the
argument.
options?
I'm going to go to the first one really quick
Mm-hmm.
and make this go up. Ooh, there we go. When I did the dot list, it did the usage of wsl.exe. Oh, no space. Okay. You just want this?
No, so you want WSL and then a space and then dash dash list. There we go. Yeah. So it's listing the distributions, or it's supposed to be, but if no options are specified, the recommended features will be installed along with the. What happens if you do install again? Like WSL space dash dash install? I don't know. Yeah, okay, so you're not running as admin again. Here we go. So now what happens if you just run WSL? Like just WSL enter. No. Okay.
Yeah, it's just bringing up the same thing. I can try the install again.
Yeah. We're definitely in admin right now, so
Make that bigger.
something should happen.
Ooh, we're going to go full screen, y'all.
Mm. That's what I thought. Windows wants you to restart after every damn thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
So you can make a new folder without using the command line if you want, in order to not lose the stream.
That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
WSL, you kind of, or
No,
Microsoft.
that's not. That's it. It's Windows' fault.
Yeah, like, should make a folder and, okay. I'm gonna do regular, but we'll find out. Then I need to like figure out how to actually change folders. Change folders. CMD.
Because it was objecting to that earlier. That's
Yeah,
weird.
and to show fold. Not
Yeah, it
images.
was objecting to LS.
Yeah, it was objecting to LS and objecting to CD.
It totally was. Yeah. Okay. So you might do. Okay. Yeah. Good idea. Okay. So now
Okay,
it's fine. I don't know why it was bitching earlier, but okay.
whatever.
You'll have to make. Oh, you've already got one. Never mind.
Its directory listing is a Unix command and went, oh, okay. There we go. We have to use,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why I was trying to get us into WSL, but
All right. We are learning. We're getting there.
mhm.
So MDKIR.
It's the other. You've transposed the K and the D. It's MKDIR, make directory.
Thank you. Uh ooh, yay. And we will call this Python.
Mhm.
Just in case I
Oh, so maybe not, because you might also want to be able to have a directory for the Python programming language to live in, and it would probably be better for that to be called Python. This is within the code directory, so it wouldn't have actually confused the computer, but it could confuse a human
yeah.
in
All
future.
right. We have made the folder and learned lots. Then I can go back to this. And y'all, I know I'm doing this a little slower than most people would probably want. It's because I keep getting talked through how to clone and download and upload. So I am trying to do this for myself with, assistance, but mostly like, doing the research myself. So if I remember, I want this uh,
Perfect.
for to download it, and I'm in the proper folder, and I hit paste.
Hooray.
Yay! And then CD learning Python. Ah,
I don't think there's a. Yeah, you got it.
it'll give you a bash
Oh,
shell. Oh,
nice.
um, I did download it for Windows. I thought. Let's see. Yes, I did download it for Windows. And then it gave me this uh, manual of like getting started with them.
Mhm.
And
And so that's what you were literally using, because what you had there was with the command that you ran, can you is GitHub repo clone? And I was thinking, wow, that's interesting. I've never seen that syntax before. I usually would use git clone and then the URL of the repo. So that's why.
and thank you, Frank, for the directory, because then I was able to look that up for the dir. But then cd learning Python. Okay, there we go. And then I want to do code space dot code, right?
It
Code dot space. Wait,
Yeah, it would be code dot space. And so what the space and the dot do, or what the dot does, is it says everything in this directory open up in VS Code.
we made it.
Hooray.
We have made it. Okay, so that made sense for cloning it.
Mhm.
So we now have it on the computer.
Yeah.
That took a bit, but we made it. Okay. And now we go back to this one. Doo-doo-doo. We could you oh, there we go.
Oh, and just for the sake of knowing terminology that other people would be using and so on, we wouldn't refer to this usually as downloading or uploading. That is what's going on. But sort of in this context, we would refer to it as like cloning and pulling. You like pull from a repo or you push to a repo.
The words you say make sense.
Hmm.
Would this then, is this a branch that it created because I did the pull and clone?
It created the branch when you created the repo. You can't really have a repo without a branch. It would be like a building without a door.
That's kind of fun. Okay. Uh, all right. I feel like I have more questions on this, but I don't know
Mhm.
how to ask them or
That's okay.
examples to use. So we're going to skip that question.
Sure.
But all right. So
Excuse me, sorry.
when we left off last time, we were mixing Boolean and comparison operators. I am going to see if I can go to the last, because we were, oh, there we go, talking about the actual graphs first before we started trying to code any of it. So that way,
Flowcharts.
flow charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flow charts. So that way it was understanding the concept and then going through to do the coding part.
Right.
So if,
Visualizing the flow control.
yes, and we went through values equal to, not equal to. And again, I'm going to post this in messages for anybody that's joining us now. Okay, so this again is going through more, this is what I like to call more theory based at the moment because we're learning the concepts instead of actually coding. And at the moment, I am working on just finding where we were last time. The difference between double equals and equals. The double equals equal to asks whether or not the two values are the same as each other. The operator assignment puts the value on the right into the variable on the left. That makes sense. And I know we went through that last time.
Hmm.
Still went through all of this. Doo-doo-doo. Unlike the and or, the not operator operates on only one Boolean value or expression. This makes it a unary,
Mhm.
unary.
One, like a unicycle is a one-wheeled
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
unary one. Mhm.
The not operator simply evaluates the opposite Boolean value. So not true is false, not true is true. Okay.
So, do you wanna see why that is the case?
Because there's 4 of them, so they cancel out, but if there
That's
were
right.
5, it would be false?
Mhm. If you have an even number of knots, they're gonna not each other. You're gonna be able to pair
Mhm.
up 2 knots that are gonna cancel each other out. But if you have an odd number, then there's always gonna be 1 left
So it would be the
that
same as
doesn't
if
get
there
canceled.
was, yeah, if there were 5 or 1, if they're odd. Okay, that part makes sense. That we just talked about, then not true is false and not
Mhm.
false is true. And this is making sense.
Mhm.
And then the way I believe this is kind of where we left off in this image right here of 4 is less than 5 and 5 is less than 6.
Mhm.
So it would only do the first equation. So 4 is less than 5, so it's true. And then
Mhm.
it does the second equation, 5 is less than 6 is true. So true and true makes true.
Exactly.
All right. And then conditions. The Boolean expressions you've seen so far could all be considered conditions, which are the same thing as expressions. Condition is just a more specific name in the context of the flow control statements. Conditions always evaluate down to a Boolean value, true or false. A flow control statement decides what to do based on whether its condition is true or false, and almost every flow control statement is a condition.
So, like in English, we often colloquially say, like, refer to the conditions, like the weather as the conditions. What are the conditions? And it's like, well, if it's raining, then you want to bring an umbrella or something like that. So if the condition is this, then blah blah blah. And so we actually use that in human language all the time, and it's exactly the same thing.
But an expression could be just, it is raining, where a condition is, it's raining, so bring an umbrella.
Um, a condition is something that can be true or false. Like it is raining or it is sunny, that kind of thing. Um, and an expression, like, so those are examples of expressions, but they're not the only expressions. That part's not too important about like
Okay.
what is an expression and what's not.
Okay. Um, so lines of Python code can be grouped together in blocks. You can tell when a block begins and ends from the indentation of lines of code. There are 3 rules for blocks. Blocks begin when an indentation increases. Blocks can contain other blocks. Blocks end when the indentation decreases to 0 or the containing block's indentation. Blocks are easier to understand by looking at some indented code. Oh, so if that's the case, then we could come over here to the code that we had,
Mhm.
and it would be indented here. And then
So what is your goal for indenting some of these?
so I was all of the prints. I'm indenting. Wait, why are you indented twice? There you go. Indenting once, so that way they know that they're part of this one down here. So like this is the start, this is the end. So all these prints are within it, but these, my name, the year, and your age are all part of the print above, but it doesn't like that.
So the indentation is communication. So like there isn't, because you don't need to nest those print statements beneath that first print statement. It's saying, please don't do this because this isn't communicating anything to me. It's a bit like in how does it work in Java? I'm trying to think of like languages where it's not indentation dependent, but I think it is in JavaScript. Um, So if you look at the example in the browser, I'm pointing at it like that makes any sense.
It worked for me. I was going to get there.
Um, so we've got the first 3 lines are all at the same indentation level, right? But then the next one, after if name is equal to Mary, then we have an indentation to say this print statement is part of that if conditional. So
Oh,
if this is true, if name is equal to Mary, then we have some things that we can do with that. So those are all part of that if statement.
oh. Yeah, because it doesn't like this either.
Mhm.
So it was correct beforehand. So it would
That's
have
right.
no indents.
That's right. All of these are at the same level of indentation.
My mind doesn't like that.
Okay.
'Cause it I like, I understand what you're saying and agree. It's more of, like, if I'm thinking of it as, like, an email or something, when you're like, "It's a sub of this."
That's because your instincts are super spot on, because what you're thinking of eventually we're going to make into functions, and it
Oh,
will indent exactly as you were intuiting. We're going to get there.
okay,
We're just not there yet. But you
okay.
are exactly, that's exactly the way that we want to be thinking. That's the direction we want to be thinking in.
Yes. Oh, that's not thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
So, program execution in the previous chapters, hello.py program Python started executing instructions at the top of the program, going down one after another. The program execution, or simply execution, is a term for the current instruction being executed. If you print the source code on paper and put your finger on each line as it's executed, you can think of your finger as the program execution. Not all programs execute by simply going straight down. However, if you use your finger to trace through a program with flow control statements, you'll likely find yourself jumping around the source code based on the condition, and you'll probably skip entire clauses. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Like if I wanted to do the like hello beautiful humans, if your name was Mary, then it's lovely to meet you, Mary. If it's not
Mhm.
Mary, bye, not Mary.
Sure. Exactly. Yep. Just like that.
Um, okay. The most
We did
common.
actually read through almost all of this last time. I don't know if you want to be just reviewing it or if you want to finish this chapter today.
Oh, yeah, we got
What
to
are your
elif.
goals? And
I
that's
think
that's read as else if. It's an
else
abbreviation
if.
for else if.
I feel like this is it's bringing it all back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I remember the vampire one, and you
Hmm.
explained why it had to be, greater than 2,000.
Hmm.
Okay.
More like why the greater than 2000 had to come first.
Oh, yeah, because the greater than 2,000, um, or, like, greater than 100, then, you are not Alice Granny, and then if you do greater than 2,000, you're an immortal vampire. That totally made
Hmm.
sense
Yeah.
of why they had to come in that order. Now I do not remember
Here's
loop
this is new.
statements.
We didn't
Okay,
we didn't talk about while loops last time.
sweet.
Hmm.
While loops, you can make a block of code execute over and over again using a while statement. The code in a while clause will be executed as long as the while statement's condition is true. In code, a while statement always consists of the following: the keyword, the while keyword, a condition that is an expression that evaluates true or false, a colon starting on the line that is intended, an indented block of code caused the while clause. You can see that a while statement looks similar to an if statement. The difference is in how they behave. At the end of an if clause, the program execution continues after the if statement, but if but at the end of a while clause, the program execution jumps back to the start of the while statement. The while clause is often called the while loop or just the loop. Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
how would you turn off a loop then?
So look at what they've got here. So we've got the same idea expressed in two different ways. We've got it using an if statement and we've got it using a while statement. So these are both totally legit ways of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off with spam is 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then if spam is less than 5, we're going to print hello world. And then we're going to add 1 to spam.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go back up to the top of our if statement. If it's less than 5, so now what is spam? What's the value of spam?
One.
Yeah. So what's going to happen?
It'll be, it'll turn in, well, in the while, it would turn into two because it would keep
Both of them.
going. Both of them.
In both of them.
How would this one know to restart at the beginning?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. That's you are exactly correct. And what I said was exactly incorrect. So yeah, so this the if statement does stop and the while does not. And so those are like two different use cases for the same. What we can see is inside those indentations, we've got exactly the same code, but different things are going to occur.
And how would the while one know when it's going to stop?
Well,
Like,
what condition is it evaluating?
oh, while spam is less than 5. So once
Hmm.
it hits 5, it'll stop.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is
Hmm.
making more sense.
Yep.
Uh, an annoying while loop. Here's a small example of a program that will keep asking you to type literally your name. Select a file new, open a file editor, and enter the following code and save the file yourname.py. All right. Let's do, I want to do new.
There you go.
Oh, wrong button. Oh,
So in general, I do recommend typing the code, like especially like if it's not, live. I recommend typing it instead of copying and pasting it because it helps get those neural pathways in your brain. Oh, thanks, the Frank Freeman and Homie Coder.
I love Laura's teaching style too. She's the first one that, like, I've done this with like I've had career coaches or like um she does have the perfect podcast voice. She really does.
Oh, this
You
isn't
do,
my
Laura.
voice. This
Well,
is my voice when my lungs are damaged.
no, it's still your voice. It's a little bit raspier,
It is a
but
little bit raspier.
not, it's still, you have like the best deep, like, enriching voice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's but you're one of the first people since being on the show that I can say, "I hate you," or glare at you, or give you a lot of mean pushback, and you're just like, "You're still gonna have to figure it out," because you know that it's me being frustrated as a student,
Mhm.
not, like, anything personal to somebody teaching me.
Absolutely.
And I love that because you make me work harder and then I remember it more.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
It is a thing, and I agree with all of them, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and you answer a lot of the why questions, which I really struggle with.
Same. And that's why we're compatible because in a lot of ways our brains work in the same ways.
Ooh, it indented it itself.
Yes.
Prettier for the win.
That is probably, I'm gonna guess that's not specifically because of prettier, but it's because
Oh,
it knows that this should be Python. Um, Although we are going to need to select interpreter, but we don't have to do that this moment. We can wait a minute.
why did you go? Me and a Windows keyboard. I'm
Mm,
so excited when I get my laptop back. Hopefully it works this time.
milk and cookies. Oh, I love it.
Yes. Way to go, Laura. Name, input, ease,
Mhm.
print. Okay, and no, that wasn't gonna let me. I was seeing if it would like let me rename it from there. I want to name you.
So, yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Uh, nah, nah, nah. No, no, I don't remember. Could you like take rude?
Mhm.
Okay, well, y'all, I'm taking it to another screen to type. Okay,
There you
save.
go.
Okay.
So, before you run it, and actually you can't run it yet because we haven't selected an interpreter, but before you run it, let's just talk through what's going on these lines. of code. So we can predict, like this is one of the best ways to learn is before we run the code and see what's going to happen, we see if we can correctly predict what's going to happen. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I'm guessing also by the way it wrote an annoying while loop is that no matter how many times you enter your name, it's just gonna keep going.
So let's figure out if we let's see if we can figure out why that's going to be true.
Because it doesn't have a stopping point like the one up here had go back. A stopping point?
There is a way to make it stop. So let's do the let's okay, I'm going to be pushy and I'm going to say we're literally just going to look at each line of code and we're going to examine it and see what's happening. Because there is a way to stop this.
If we put a value in name,
We will. So on line 1, what are we doing? We're saying name equals
anything.
actually a very specific thing. An empty string.
Wouldn't an empty string be anything though?
Well, no, because like 5 is a thing, but it's not an empty string.
So an empty string would be like if it asks for your name and you just hit enter, that would give it an empty string.
It would not change the fact that it's already an empty string. So then on line 2, we're saying so while name is and you read it, sorry.
Yeah, because you got to save your voice.
Mhm.
While name is not equal to your
Got
name,
it.
print, please type your name. Name equals input, and which is open. So then it'll print thank you. So are they saying that while your name is not your name, so if you type
Yes.
your name, it'll stop. But if
Yes, it
it's
will. You got
oh,
it.
okay. All right. So I need to, will this work if I just do it right here?
Um odd board. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh,
So this is a way to run it in the browser. So this isn't the code that you wrote. This is the exact same program lives on this pythontutor.com site.
oh.
It was already saved here. So it wouldn't matter what you had typed in your in VS Code. This would still look exactly like this.
So he typed your name and it ended it. Whereas if he kept writing Al, it would keep going.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a very useful tool
Mhm.
called Python Tutor.
So that's because he's already saved this exact program
Right.
here. Yeah.
But if anybody like Jay always he has the like Python newsletter. If he wanted to write something
Mm,
to give a demonstration or something, he could
yeah.
use this.
Sure.
Ramon, oh my God. OMG. I use this for visualizing JavaScript for the learners all the time. It's magnificent.
Mhm.
You use
What's really
Python
neat
Tutor?
about this, what's really neat about this is that it's showing the green lines, the green, sorry, arrows show the line that you just executed. Like if you click start again, it's going to go through it. Interesting. Wait,
Nope.
no, not that. Go back. Sorry, my bad. I told you to do the wrong thing. Yep.
Oh, that's kind of
Where is
fun.
it? Sorry. Next, if you click next. So it'll keep moving that arrow to show you which green line is being executed, the red line is the next one. And if we keep clicking next, it'll keep showing us which line we're executing each time. So first we executed the print, please type your name, and then put in Al, and that is not equal to the string your name. And so we go back through.
It's weird that it has this here too. Oh, visualize. Oh, it says right here. Like I was confused why Ramon said he was using it for
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript, and it says right here you can use it for JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that totally makes way more sense. Um, oh, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
But let's try it again in your editor so that you can run it on your machine. Um, so we need to select an interpreter. If you look at the bottom in sort of like a dark mustard, yeah. Okay, so Python is not installed. That's because we installed Python maybe 2 streams ago, but that was on your Mac. And so now we need to install it on Windows.
This is such a weird process.
Why?
Like you have to know everything that you need to download and remember it all to go machine to machine. So, like, what if you have like I, I guess like install if you're getting it from GitHub and like cloning it and then re-uploading it, you can do it on 2 computers, but it would be like really frustrating if you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, your dev environment is what you're setting up right now. Um, and yeah, so that can be really frustrating moving from um, computer to computer. Um, and there are ways of making that a bit less painful. As Ramon is saying, that this is making a good case for cloud coding. So if we were working in VS Code in the browser, we'd be okay. We wouldn't need to
Hmm.
be doing that. But the reason that I'm not saying, hey, we should just do that is because if you want to be able, if you're going to be doing this as like for your job, then you have to be able to do it locally for most
Got it.
positions, I would think.
Okay. And Ramon gave us some options.
Hmm.
Gitpod, GitHub, code spaces, stack blitz, etc. I dig it. All right. So now, and then now I can hit play, right? Yeah. Run Python.
Run. In
Okay.
this context, we would say run instead of play, but yes, exactly.
I'm not giving you this look. I'm giving the developers. It's a
Okay.
play button.
We're running the program.
Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
So please type your name. And if I type Jen
Hmm.
and Nora and Ramon, ta-da. And then if I say your, actually, I'm going to do this just to see it.
Hmm.
Still doesn't do it.
Right. So what you were just doing was you were testing what we would call sort of not exactly an edge case, but it's something pretty similar to an edge case where you were checking, hey, will it be really precise in looking for matching the case, like uppercase
Mhm.
versus the lowercase? And that is exactly the kind of instinct that you need for writing good code.
Oh, yay. Okay. So we have gotten through here and we figured out how to turn it off.
Hmm.
And then a break statement. I just want to see this actually work.
Mm-hmm.
I like that these are starting to be in there because I feel like it's easier visualization than like not everyone is going to have a LoRa. So these at least help a bit.
Absolutely.
And I'm,
This scales, and I don't. Not that I am
yes,
the only person who teaches Python, of course.
but you know, you can, for everyone, you could probably find a tutor or start your own live stream. I think
Mhm.
everybody
Read
should,
this book.
yeah, read
This is
this
how
book.
I learned Python.
Yes, yes. You can tweet people like us, and we will reply with answers if needed.
Hmm.
Um, what are you guys talking about? Locally would be great to use dot files in a repo. Good point. And in fact, okay, there we go. Uh, and then good point. And in fact, some of these are cloud platforms support examples of VS Code dot files. It's great. There are so many tools. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's very
Hmm.
overwhelming.
Hmm. Um, yeah, so we could talk about dot files if you want, or we could do that on a future stream if you want to try to get to the end of this chapter today.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to ignore it for a second, but
Hmm.
work on remembering it. So I'm going through this kind of fast because I want to see what it does for the break. I don't understand.
So let's look at the difference between this program's code and the
Oh,
previous one.
if name is equal to.
So here we have that condition. Instead of having that condition in up next to the while, like because in the
It says,
previous program, it was while name is not equal to your name, do this stuff.
mm,
And here it just says while true. So if you have while true and you have no break statement, true is always true. And so it would be what's called an infinite loop. Nothing would ever stop it.
but if the name is equal to your name,
Oops, did
it would,
my headphones
it would,
disconnect again? They did. Why are you doing this? What's going on here? Yes. Okay, we're connected again. Sorry about
okay,
that.
all good. You're at least having less computer issues than I am, so I appreciate your patience.
No
So
worries.
this one does make sense.
Hmm.
So this one is definitely, and then because we entered your name, it broke the while and it printed thank you.
That's right.
So that's what a break. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm going to keep going. Keep
Hmm.
going. Continue statements. Uh, like break statements, continue statements are used inside loops. While the program execution reaches a continue statement, the program execution immediately jumps back to the start of the loop and reevaluates the loop's condition. So I'm guessing, okay. Oh, so like in this one, they're using a password. So if they use the wrong password, it would continue to the front or
Uh-huh.
continue to the beginning.
Yeah, to the top of the loop. Yeah.
Hmm. But if they wanted to, this is where they would add more to say like three passwords and it's wrong or like three attempts. They would add that here too. How would you add
Uh,
that? I think is my question.
Yeah, so you would need to create um, your while loop. Maybe instead of saying while true, or like you'd have to say like you'd have to create a variable that would be storing the the number of attempts and incrementing that number of attempts with each attempt that was made. And then like while number of attempts is less than 4,
Mhm.
or usually because we do what's called zero indexing. So usually we start in programming, we start our numbers, our counters at 0.
Mhm.
So in that case, you would actually say while number of attempts is less than 3,
Mhm.
because the first one would be 0, and the second one would be 1, and the third one would be 3.
That makes sense, and
Mhm,
that's making me think of some React, web apps that I've made has
mhm,
the counter automatically built in as the, like, default. So and then being able to see what the counter does, and the counter it does count, like, just the page visits, but I
mhm.
can see the similarities of that to password attempts. Totally
Sure.
different code, and I'm talking different languages, but
You're
conceptually,
thinking
it's
about
helping.
exactly different ways to use the same concepts, which is great.
Nice. Wait, what are you guys talking about? Oh, yeah, when she gets off her MacBook, distractor mode off. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. This is talking about what we just talked about.
Mhm.
Truthy falsy values. I like truthy falsy values. That sounds way more interesting. Conditions will consider some of the value in other data types equivalent to true and false. When used in conditions, 0, comma 0.0 and empty string are considered false, where other values are considered true. Okay. Oh, I feel like a lot of this now is they all generally kind of make sense.
Mhm.
It's just going to be more of I'm just scrolling down to see if there's anything like totally crazy. Uh, uh, no, that makes sense. Because importing modules, I'm guessing, is uh, that just importing built-in functions. Okay, I've done that. I think in JavaScript,
Very
and
possibly, yeah. I think of it like if you have, you're putting together your toolkit or something, and you're like, okay, I'm going to need today, I'm going to be building something, and so I need to bring my like building module, so I'm going to put that in my toolkit, but I'm also going to need to be doing some plumbing, so I need to bring like my plumbing kit, I need to put that in my toolbox too.
hmm
That
hmm
kind of thing, like different modules will be for different purposes. So you don't have to bring everything with you, because that would be super heavy.
got it. Yeah, that makes
You only
sense.
want to bring with you the stuff that you're going to use.
I just want to agree with this, and this is why I named this project after Laura. I agree with that.
Sorry.
Um, okay.
So I feel like you're getting to a point where we can do what I like to do when I'm learning something, is to just sort of skim, exactly like you're doing, skim like headings and
Mhm.
see if anything sort of jumps out at me. But then otherwise, I want to just go directly to the exercises.
And I think that's where I'm at, but
Mhm,
I really like that we were starting the exercises at the beginning of the next session because then it's like,
mhm,
do I actually remember it and
mhm.
build off of there?
Right.
And then I get that it's taken us longer to go through the chapters that way, but I feel like I'm remembering a lot more of the
Absolutely.
previous one.
Absolutely.
So I am going to start wrapping us up, y'all. I have practice
Alrighty.
questions for next week.
Mhm.
Does anyone have any questions? You
Yeah.
can find Laura on her Twitter. Her Twitter is
Mhm,
there, and her stream also. We
mhm.
are streaming to both places right now,
Yep.
and that is, let me go grab your stream
Ah,
to make
thank you.
sure that it's in here. Twitch. There we go. And now I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm actually following you because that would make me sad if I'm not. Yay. Thanks, Frank. Come join us. We're here every other Monday.
Mhm.
Laura, what is your stream? Apparently, I don't know if I follow
It's,
you.
here, let me grab let's see. Oh, I can't use the regular comments. I can just do private chat. Okay. Hey.
Oh, that's why. I always forget that until I see it like you're chatting in, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. All right, everybody. Here is Laura's info. Please follow both of us. Feel free to subscribe as well. And we will see you soon.
Mhm.
This is very exciting that we are learning more and more about Python. These are things that we definitely want to know your questions too. So either
For sure.
comment, if you can't straight catch one of them here, please feel free to comment on YouTube or tweet us. We will do our best to get back to you. And thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't know.